Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. How much the gang we packing? We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. Bonito, cheap, Keith.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I got a gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and damn, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine, I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my lawyer, I don't got the time. Crossing my T's and he dotting those eyes. Don't take offense if I do not oblige. I can't relate but like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low but I'm back on the rise, it's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones are down and I dare to show. So the way that I'm ballin', they think I'm a pro. I'm getting sick by the money I gross. They saying whoa, I told them all what this is. I told them all I don't miss. Said it's my time, look at this shit on my wrist. And when they shooting this brace, I'm going in a new gig, gotta shift. I cannot stick to the script, I cannot wait. Watch how I get it and flip. It's just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Ayy, just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide.
Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, happy Halloween. Is it Halloween or Halloween? How do you guys say it? Let me know in the chat. But, guys, Bitcoin getting the bounce from our key level yesterday, pushing into our key level of resistance, currently getting a little rejection there. Is this a rejection that could bring us much, much lower? And if so, where are we looking for the bounces? We're going to cover those key levels on tonight's live stream. Kind of a boring day for Bitcoin, guys, if I'm being totally honest. We got a little wiggle to the upside, and we're just getting rejected from local resistance. I'm going to talk about the biggest levels that I am sitting at with my... Were you guys able to hear that intro music? I might have had that muted. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the major key levels that I'll be looking at. Not too much going on the charts here. We're back above our macro value area high, which is somewhat of a good sign. But if we can't get back above these key levels, guys, we might be in store for a little bit of a bigger dump. But, of course, we'll show that doorway to higher prices. We'll go over the bearish case, the bullish case. I'll let you guys know which way I'm leaning and how I am personally trading this price action. So shout out to the Mafia. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. Said money flow is the scariest thing going on. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. Yeah, money flow, I'll be honest, guys. Money flow is just like more and more chopped up every single day. But we'll take a look at money flow today. We have a bunch of time frames that are crossing over into the green, some significant time frames crossing over into the green, but we also have some other things that are pointing in the opposite direction. So again, guys, honestly, for the past couple of months, I've been putting a little less weight on some of the money flow. Obviously, the 4-hour has helped us out, calling for some of the bigger swings, but I'll show you guys. I'll show you the mixed signals. It is a little bit difficult to call here, but I'll give you guys my overall thought. We'll go over the bullish case, the bearish case, and I'll let you guys know which way I'm leaning and for what specific reasons. Shout out to Fox3 in the chat. What is going on, man? We got Nirvana in the chat. We got Piota, says Happy Halloween. Welcome in, brother. We got the set dressed here, guys, but I do not actually. You guys think I don't have a Halloween costume on, but I'm just dressed up as Frankie Candles. But let's see. We got Sin Nasty Kid in the chat. What is going on? Fox 3. Jesse, what is going on? We got Amina, Nirvana, Hollywood at 25. We got Tony Roaz, Jeremy, Vegas Club. We got everybody in the chat tonight. Show them on some love. If you love them as much as we do, guys, drop them a little bit of Halloween candy in the chat. Show them some love. But guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts. Not really, but we'll take a look. And it will be, guys, a famous short stream. Will we actually go for 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Are we going for the full 2 hours? Put your bets in the chat right now. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into. Coin Hoover says the wife said 98K based on the wind direction. Smart. Shout out to Coin Hoover. Well, we'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. Hey, also, guys, Bitcoin jack-o'-lanterns in the chat. If you have a Frankie Candles membership, you guys know we got that Bitcoin jack-o'-lantern. Can't believe it's been a year since we've had this emoji in the chat. But let's go. All right, so here we are, guys. Now, obviously, last night, as we were bouncing off of our 786, funny enough, we actually were getting like a little bit of like getting caught up here on the value area high, but when we were looking at this in the premium Discord, we had the 786 down here, and this was the level we were looking at to come down and tap. And as we were pushing up into this value area high, key resistance / support zone. There's those Bitcoin jack-o'-lanterns. Shout out to K Diggity. But as we started pushing above this value area high, guys, we were looking at some local indications here on the 15-minute time frame. Shout out to the money flow on Market Cipher B. We had that 4-hour green dot looking to print. We also had our 15-minute money flow coming up, which did give us the idea overall. Obviously, we were looking at that 4-hour money flow coming out, but on the lower time frames, we had the green dot with the 15-minute money flow coming up, and this is what kept us looking for this little retracement to the upside. 15-minute money flow crosses over into the green. You got the higher low, the higher high, the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We trend to the upside, and our major levels of resistance were sitting here clearly at the value area low, and then we have the golden pocket POC 786 sitting just above that, and you guys can see we are just starting to reject that golden pocket. So the question is here, guys, obviously just a choppy day for Bitcoin for the most part, but if I take this off the chart, you know, I don't want to be, I'm not going to like completely repeat myself on tonight's live stream because again, there's really not too much of an update. We're back above the $108,000 level, which obviously was expected as we were looking to push up into that key level of resistance. But you know, overall, guys, obviously this $108,000 level is absolutely critical support on the higher time frames. We do not want to break back down into this range. I'm not going to cover the longer term today. We've talked about it so many times, but obviously this is a huge level that we want to stay on top of. If we do have to break back down in here, I will say there are some very key levels that we must hold on to. Even if we want to come fill that wick at about $102,000, we're going to really want to start getting going there very quickly. Otherwise, it could start to turn into a much bigger bearish scenario that I've covered 100 times on this live stream. So I'm not gonna just be repetitive here. But of course, major level of support. We were down below it. Now we're back above it. So you know, no real update there. We're just kind of playing around with this level. We talk about this. More times the level gets tapped, sometimes the more likely the door is to open. More times you knock, the more likely that door is to open. So I don't really love that aspect of it. Also, 4-hour money flow. I'm going to go into the money flow in a second because it is totally mixed up here, guys. But overall, what is my plan here? Now, obviously, with our 4-hour money flow, you know, attempting to cruise to the downside, you'll kind of see why I am being a little bit cautious here. You know, money flow generally trending out, 4-hour red dot potentially looking to print here. But when we start taking a look at the other money flow, you're going to start to see what all those mixed signals are. But just in general, 4-hour money flow still coming to the downside, which is why we were very careful around this resistance for a potential continuation to the downside. Now, overall, guys, we took a look at this yesterday. We have the liquidity sitting on the chart. The major liquidity levels are sitting below our current low here, below about $106,168. We have the liquidity running down to about $104,652. And then to the upside, we have another hot spot of liquidity sitting up here above those highs at about $116,000. So, you know, over the medium term, right, this is also somewhat in line. Let me actually pull up our local volume profile. I'm going to not turn on the fibs. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on our take off that anchored VWAP, and we'll just pull this volume profile nice and simple here, right? So, you know, overall range, obviously sitting down here. Value area sits between about 110,000 and 115,500. I am still holding my short position up from here at the value area high. We've rode this all the way down. I'm going to continue to hold this with my stop loss in profit in case we do want to come down and take that low. Again, it's a little bit of a confusing picture here when we start looking at the money flow, but generally 4 hours trending out. That does typically indicate that you could get lower highs and lower lows to come. But this is your main local volume profile, right? And then down here you have the liquidity. Maybe we want to come down, sweep it out before finally getting up there. But you know, this is the next big level that I'm waiting for, right? If we do come down here, we will be looking for potential bounces here and potential long positions in the premium Discord. We have some setups sitting down there with specific execution and low time frame entry triggers or high time frame entry triggers as well. Exactly what we want to see down there. But this is going to be that first major area of interest. As we know, liquidity acts as a magnet for price. So we do start kind of coming down here. It's going to get closer and closer to becoming a magnet. And then we're going to be looking for that sweep of liquidity below those lows. Now, it is a little bit of a difficult situation, guys. And, you know, at the end, this is the end of the month, right? So I'm hoping, right? October has been a pretty, you know, not that it was like totally, you know, the price action super choppy. Not that this stops us from trading this. Obviously, you know, at the end of September, we caught the long position position to the upside. And then, of course, we took this short position in the premium before the tweet came out. We got that massive liquidation. So we got some really, really nice big trades here this month. But all up in here, guys, this has been a total chop fest. So hopefully, if you're getting chopped out here, guys, do not feel bad. This is just super, super garbage price action. And again, I am still holding my short from up here as well. So again, we can trade this price action, but it's just very hard to call when we look at money flow being so choppy. And I'll get into that in just a second. But for the most part, these are the bigger levels I'm looking at, right? Take out the current low, right? Maybe we want to come sweep that low one more time. And then, of course, that move to the upside, you're going to be looking at this volume profile for your roadmap to higher prices. Maybe we want to sweep out this liquidity and then come out and sweep that upper liquidity. But these are the two major areas of interest. I already have my alert set up there. Go ahead and set my alert right here as well. So these are really just like the big levels that I'll be looking at, right? And, you know, I don't know what the weekend's going to bring, right? Maybe we kind of chop around in here. And again, when we get into the money flow, you'll see why this is kind of such a hard call to try to figure out if we're going to get back up in here or come take out the lows first. Based off the 4-hour, money flow comes out. I have to anticipate potential lower highs and lower lows. I'll go over some of those local levels of resistance if we get above that POC. But, you know, this money flow does make me a little bit cautious for a continuation of the downside. This obviously helped us hold our short position all the way from the high here with that 4-hour money flow coming out. It helped us look for this move to the upside, and it also is now going to potentially help us anticipate that bigger drop down. But when we look at the money flow, guys, let's just go through this together because 4-hour money flow, obviously we are getting a little pop to the upside here on money flow. Is this going to be a complete fake out? Hard to tell. It's really, you know, I typically don't look for fake outs, but with the way money flow looks like right now, it's kind of a crapshoot if I'm being honest, right? But, you know, at face value, this money flow is coming out. We take a look at the 2-hour money flow has crossed over into the red. 3-hour money flow is coming out as well. So, like, if I'm just looking at the 2-hour, the 3-hour, and the 4-hour, this is all coming out, right? So I would anticipate that to continue. Now, the reason this gets a little bit difficult for me personally is because if we come up to some of these other higher time frames, right, your 8-hour money flow has just crossed over into the green, right? You have a nice little green, little red wave, crosses into the green. 10-hour money flow also crossing over into the green. 6-hour scamming to the upside, but then the 5-hour looks like trash, 4-hour looks like trash, 3-hour looks like trash, 2-hour looks like trash, right? So it's like bearish, bearish, bearish. So, I mean, somewhat bullish. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. And then you come on over to the 12-hour, and it just flips right back around. Money flow crosses into the red, crosses into the red. So it's really, really difficult here, guys. Usually these time frames will be confluent, but again, this isn't going to stop us from taking the trades. But I am just simply, you know, I don't really have much of a bias here. I'm going to show you the key levels. Like if we get above X, then we can look to go to Y, or, you know, or if we get above A, we can go to B, or if we get below A, we can go to B. I'll talk about those targets, but I am simply just going to be sitting here and yo, shout out to Felix. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, made gains last night. All learned from you, bro. Shout out to Felix. Let's go, baby. I don't have my. Hang on. Let me go grab some cash for you, bro. We're gonna throw some money for you. Shout out to Felix. Let's go, baby. Drop some bing bongs in the chat for our boy Felix. Congratulations, bro. We're just giving the education, bro. We're gonna throw some hungies for you. Shout out to Felix, baby. Congratulations. Let's get it. None of that money fell in frame. Oh, it's still coming down. It's still coming down. All right. But shout out to Felix. Congratulations, bro. Hey, you executed, bro. We're just giving you the education, and it just goes to show, guys, you pay attention to these free live streams. It is the best free value you will find on YouTube when it comes to trading any kind of asset, not just crypto. But let's continue on here, right? So, you know, money flow very chopped up, guys. I wish I can give a confident direction here. You know, I would say like the lower time frames are looking a little bit more bearish, which is why I am going to be waiting. And it's a simple set your trap and wait for price to come into the trap. You got to wait for the mouse to come on, nibble on the bait, right? And then if you get the confirmations, the mouse takes the bait, then you take the trade. And it's the same thing here. So if we come down, I will be looking here first. I'll cover some of the lower levels as well. If we come up, I will be looking here first. And these are the major levels. We have some local levels as well, but I'm not going to cover them on today's live stream. They're going to be for like the lower time frame trades. So that's pretty much what we're looking at, guys. I'm going to sit on my hands, wait for those alerts to get hit. And then, you know, if we do wind up seeing that lower time frame money flow continue to the downside and give us that bigger drop down, we could potentially just hold our short position, right? I'm still holding my short, so we'll just let that continue to pay us out. Now, that's the kind of local outlook here. Now, what are the key levels that we need to get above in order to see a bigger push to the upside? Now, for me personally, guys, I'm going to take the liquidity off the chart. We're going to pull up our previous range volume profile, and we can actually look at the main volume profile as well. And you guys can see, obviously, we have come up and started to reject these levels. I'm going to say this, right? But between about 150 all the way up to about $112,000 because that's our previous range value area. hide this anchored VWAP. Bada boom. Bada bing. You can see this anchored VWAP will be important on the way down. Of course, if we do wind up coming up here, pretty important resistance. This is also, in the context of our local range, getting very close to our value area high. Well, that's one of the local levels we'll be watching. But when we look at this from the previous range volume profile perspective, of course, we are rejecting the anchored VWAP from the low. This is important to reclaim locally to get the bigger push up. But if we do get that bigger push up, guys, I am going to be looking. Let's say we push up in here. This is a golden pocket or golden pocket 786 retracement. You have your anchored VWAP here. So you have the value area low, golden pocket 786. This is an area where I will be very careful. Now, what I would prefer to see here, now just to kind of show you guys, right, when we're below the range, all this support, right? We had the support, or not the support, but this was a key level of resistance, right? So anchored VWAP from the all-time high, going to be very important to get above. Value area low of the previous range, as always, is going to be important to get above, because once you flip that value area low, as long as this Fibonacci retracement does not hold you back and you get above that 786, I'm going to be looking to snap out those highs at about $116,000, where we have that liquidity sitting that I just showed, sitting right here, leading into the POC. So if you were looking at the chart over the weekend and you were hoping for a move up, it's like we got to get above all this, right? And with that money flow coming out on the 4-hour, it does make me a little concerned that this could be a lower high if we are not already putting our lower high in here. We just still have to be very careful on the way to the upside. And to be quite honest, like even if we got all the way up through this bigger profile, we still have major key levels of resistance above. When you start talking about all-time highs, it's really not until you start breaking out of this volume profile and getting above $121,000 where I would be calling for all-time highs. When we look at the higher time frames, guys, 2-day money flow still technically trending out here. You have the 2-day red dot printing. This is not necessarily indicative of a new all-time high. I say this almost every single day. Doesn't mean it can't come in, but in order for me to call for that, I just pretty much need to see the break of that key level up here, that 786. And I'll pull it on the chart so you guys can see it from the high to the low. It's very confluent with that value area high. So if we break out here and we do get, key level number 1, outside of our local volume profile, right? You got to get above all this resistance, right? Once we get above that 786, I'm looking at that point, this liquidity will become a stronger magnet for price, and then we can look to go sweep above those highs into our next key level of resistance, which is still sitting up here between the point of control and the golden pocket. Call it between about $117,000 and $118,300. We have some confluence up there as well, but just to keep it nice and simple for you guys, the biggest levels to watch. You have the local resistance, but once you get above here, flip the value area low and all those local levels, I'm going to be looking to come and take out that liquidity up here. This is the next place I will be interested in a significant new short position. At that point, I would be stopped out of my short that I'm currently holding in profit. But for a new short, I'm simply going to be waiting to get up there. Maybe I take a little scalp on a lower high if we see that pop up over the weekend and I'm on the charts. But more often than not, over the weekends, I'm not necessarily staring at the charts 24/7. But still the biggest levels, right? 116K and then below about $106,000. So we come up here, I'll be looking for the shorts. If we come down here, I'll be looking for the longs. And then in between, right, I'll just be updating the Discord in case we find some local setups up in here locally. Now, if we come down, let's just say that 4-hour money flow continues out. We come down here. We do not get any confirmations to take the long. At that point, guys, I am going to be anticipating the lower level that we have been talking about for what feels like forever, and that is sitting down here to fill the wick in full at about $102,000. Right down here, $102,157. This is the last place, in my opinion, to get a strong bounce before we start looking at a much more bearish situation for Bitcoin. Again, I'm not going over the longer time frames today or like the macro cycle perspective today, but you guys know, if you watch the channel at all, right, you will know we have the daily MPOC, the weekly MPOC, we have the daily horizontal, we have a weekly down there as well, yeah, or no, we don't. Daily MPOC, weekly MPOC, daily horizontal, and the liquidity sitting below this wick. And on top of that, of course, we do have the 50-week moving average. Huge, huge, huge level of support. This sits between about $103,000 all the way down to this daily at about $100,831. This is, again, I don't want to repeat myself, but this is the most important level, guys. If we do not, I'm okay, take off some of these local levels, right? If we do not hold off that liquidity sweep down here, I'm looking down here. And I assume we're going to get some kind of bounce from here, if I'm being honest. Like, I think it'd be very low probability to just melt through this and go to 90K. But if we do not hold this, guys, and like even if we hold it temporarily, let's say we come down, We get the bounce, lower high, lower low. We wind up not holding this, guys. Much more bearish situation for Bitcoin. We'll be losing the 50-week moving average. We will be getting accepted into our macro range volume. Whoops. Our macro volume profile, right? We'll be below 108K at that point. We'll be losing the 50-week moving average, which every single cycle, guys, has indicated the bear market, right? And this is literally with zero exception. Talk to the premium Discord about this today. Q4 top, Q4 top, Q4 top. Technically, currently, we have a Q4 top. And once you lose that 50-week moving average, this is literally without exception, Q4, Q4, Q4 of the post-halving year every single time. 50-week moving average. Once you break down below this with multiple weekly candle closures, bear market, multiple weekly candle closures, bear market, multiple weekly candle closures, bear market, right? Without exception, right? Not a single situation that we could look at and we were like, oh, well, in this cycle, we held it and then continued up. Now, does this guarantee that once you lose that, you're going to zero? Not necessarily, right? But, it is something, I mean, just look at that, right? 1, 2, 3, every single time. And we have all of those confirmations. We also have the high time frame bearish divergences and some of the other stuff we've been looking at. So I only bring this up. Again, I'm not going to cover the macro too much here, but I only bring this up to just show you guys, like, even when it comes to, like, the technical levels, not just the moving average, which I guess is a technical level, but, we get down here, guys, like, we need a fast recovery. If we get stuck underneath here, 50-week moving average rolls over. This is now resistance. Every other time that's happened, we were unable to get above. The only other thing that we can do is, like, I'd be okay with wicks, right? You wick, saves you. You wick, it saves you. You wick, it saves you. If we don't get another situation like that and we close multiple weekly candle closures, not going to be looking good. It has literally indicated the start of the bear market every single cycle. Now, you could argue we're in a little bit of a bear market here already, but losing that 50-week moving average, multiple candle closures, bada boom, bearish retest, bear market. You did get the bearish retest here. Drop, bearish retest, bear market, right? So I just want to show you guys the gravity of that situation if we come down to the $100,000 or $103,000 to $100,000 zone. Massive, massive level to hold. If we don't hold it, guys, it becomes more and more likely that the top is in, right? We're not there yet. As long as we could stay above those key levels and we still have time in Q4, I think the doorway to new all-time highs could still be open, right? I just can't, with money flow, with all these bearish things lining up, I can't just say, like, no worry, guys, we're definitely going to all-time highs. But what I can say is as long as we stay above those key levels, as long as we still have time in Q4, you could argue that there is still time to put in a new all-time high. Hopefully the alt season, we can get alt season, all that stuff. I'm not going to talk about that today, but that's your hope. If we start going into 2026 without a new all-time high on Bitcoin, guys, you would expect 2026 to be a bear market year. And we could talk about potential, maybe I'll make a pre-recorded video doing a deep dive on how we might see that play out if they start printing money in 2026. I talked to the premium Discord about it a little bit today on what I would look for. But we can't just bet that this time is different just because we want price to go up. So it's why I'm being so cautious here, right? Again, right, like the fact that we don't have these massive signals, the fact that we don't have money flow in a big red wave on the 2-day ready to cross into the green, which is what I would want to see for massive new all-time highs. I would want to see this, if this 2-day money flow had crossed over into the red, hung out, and then we get bullish divergences with money flow coming up, right? I could say to myself, well, hey, that looks good for a massive move up. But this doesn't, right? Money flow's headed in the wrong direction. So there it is, right? And of course, you have the mixed signals, but it's just really hard to call, guaranteed. I don't think anybody can call that, right? I know nobody can call that, right? Nobody knows 100% how this is going to play out. But, the signs are here to at least be very cautious. And even yesterday, we're below the value area high. Now we're back above it. So I just wouldn't be surprised. If we come down here, you really got to get out of there because if you wind up rejecting this 50-week, it's not going to be a good sign. So let me take some of this off the chart. I'm going to come into chat real quick, and then I will do just like a quick little 5-second simple recap of those major key levels. All right, let's jump into the chat here. If we don't make BTC all-time high this year, we will be disappointed in this year's bull run. Shout out to you, girl, I girl. Yes, I think a lot of people would be very dissatisfied. We're going to have a lot of people asking for the manager, especially if we don't see alt season come in. That's going to be shout out to Chatmaster said, call it, Frankie. I can't call it just yet. You guys will see my shout out to Chatmaster. And again, with that being said, right, I'm not saying the high is definitely in, but, all I'm doing is presenting the evidence, right? And the evidence is there. So you will see my tune change a lot, right? If we get accepted back into our macro range, right? Just picture this, right? Like if you're expecting this to play out somewhat similar to the previous cycles, right? Maybe you get a bounce. Once you lose it, This is going to start rolling over those bearish retests. And at this point, right, if you have those multiple weekly candle closures, super high probability that this will be a lower high. And all I'm saying is every single other time, with zero exception, that has indicated that was the top. Or it indicated that the top was in, right? And we were going into a bear market. So just like be on the watch for that, guys. And of course, I'll be here to walk you guys through it every step of the way. But, you know, this is, we kind of been talking about how like this is just kind of a huge level of support. When you just look at this from a higher time frame, obviously this is not going to be a good way to look at like an entry into a trade or anything. That's why I have these all separated into, you know, smaller areas where I'll be actually looking to enter. But at the end of the day, right, like between the 50-week moving average and this value area high, like this is the most critical level of support for Bitcoin right now. As long as we can hold on top of that, you know, all-time highs could still come in. But if we break down, retest, not going to be looking good. We do something like this, that could be very bearish. So we'll see. Might take some time to play out. But so to the downside, just to recap before we move into some of the altcoins, and we will be doing giveaways today, guys, as we do every single week. And, you know, just for what it's worth here, guys, even if we push up here, right, I will start to feel better if we can start cracking these highs, getting above the golden pocket. I'd be feeling pretty good about potentially looking for new all-time highs. But again, it's not until you get above that 786. It's a simple Fibonacci golden pocket 786 retracement. This is your doorway to all-time highs. You can't get above that, it's probably going to be a lower high and a lower low. But once we get up there, we'll take a look at what, you know, the charts look like. We'll have those indications to give us, you know, what the probabilities up there of the rejection are going to be. Very likely, if we see those rejections, right, and those bearish confirmations, it will be clear that we're going to get that rejection, right, and then could wind up being a bit more bearish. So to the downside, biggest levels to watch, the current low at $106,075. Look to come sweep out that liquidity. And depending on how this plays out, guys, right? Like, if you do come out and sweep this, I will say, I think if we get an SFP here, it's not going to be like a 5-minute SFP or a 15-minute SFP. It could be kind of a higher time frame SFP, maybe a daily, maybe even higher, right? So if we don't hold this, right, it's not all lost just yet. It is certainly getting sketchy, but it's not all lost. This is the next kind of local entry I'll be looking at for a bounce. But if we don't hold that, right, you have that backup support here on indeed the most important level on the chart right now, to the downside. So those are the two levels, 106,094. Look to sweep out that liquidity. If we can't get the bounce there, we're going to be looking down towards that $103,000 to $101,000 or $102,000 level. So there you go. I'm not going to bring all these levels back up because we just showed them. And then to the upside, biggest levels, meaning higher time frame. I'm not saying you can't come up here and reject locally like I just brought up on the chart earlier. But, you know, this is the bigger level, right? When we take a look at the liquidation heat maps, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I'll pull up the 1 month here, and you guys will be able to see. I might have to change the model real quick. Let me change this to 3. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, my God. Jesus. Guys, come on. The girls at Starbucks. Come on, guys. Spooked me. Anyway. All right, so when we take a look at this, pull it up on the 1 month. Come on. Come on. You got it. There we go, right? So you can see all this liquidity. I'll even change it. I think it's a little easier to see it this way. I'll beef it up a little bit. You can see, right? Liquidity sitting down below, liquidity sitting above. And at the end of the day, it's like, if this, then that. If we come down here, we have that liquidity to look for the sweep. If we come up here, we have the liquidity to look for the sweep. Plain and simple. These are the biggest areas of liquidity on the chart. And that's why I have them marked out here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I got my alert set here, and I have some more up there as well. And then hyper locally, you can just look at your local volume profile, right? Hey, we're flipping on the POC at 112K. This is super, super good. We're going to be looking for that push up. And then this is where we can look for that sweep of liquidity, right? And you have key resistance above that as well, which is the golden pocket. So that's what I'm be looking at, guys. I wish I'm kind of neutral here. I'm just going to sit on my hands and wait for one of these alerts to go off, either to the downside or the upside. Super choppy, super unpredictable here for Bitcoin, to be quite honest. Hopefully November is cleaner price action than this. All right, let's see. Sweep up top and then zero. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hold on tight, everyone. We're about to go down. Shout out to Tito. Yeah, we do have a decent amount of time. I mean, if you guys just want my kind of like general bias, right? Not that I'm making decisions off of this, just because the money flow is so chopped up. But, like, I just don't like this 4-hour money flow, guys. We get that red dot printing. You already have your 15-minute money flow chopping around in the red there. Yeah, it's just like, just to show you guys, right? Like sometimes the fact of the matter is you're just going to have mixed signals. 4-hour money flow comes out, 8-hour money flow is coming up. Like this is just something where it's very difficult to call a confident move. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what this 4-hour, I think if you get this 4-hour red dot, it'll probably give you, like, you're either going to get that red dot and it's going to push you down to those lower levels, or it's just going to be a very aggressive fake out. The one thing I do like about this red dot giving you the bigger drop down, guys, is when we look at this 4-hour time frame, does look like we may, I just cannot unsee this, right? If we get that red dot, price pushes down, it will give us an ability to potentially print a 4-hour bullish divergence, which we do not have down here right now. We do have one here, but it was a little wonky because you have the wick. We didn't fill the wick in full. So there's a lot of things that are super, super weird on the chart right now just based off that big liquidation wick. You see the big liquidation, you kind of chop around. It just kind of creates this mess that we have here. But luckily, it won't last forever. And hopefully, it won't last for much longer. We just need the big move up or the big move down so we can kind of reset things. But the one reason why I do favor the push to the downside is because it would be nice to see that 4-hour bull div come sweep out some of that liquidity that we talked about and then get another move up. You'll have the 4-hour bull divs. Not that I would look to enter on that. It would just be kind of an indication to let me know that we could get the overall continuation. But even then, right, it's like if that money flow is coming into the red, what are you anticipating at that point, right? You put the low, okay, cool, bull div, we're going to bounce. We got the green dot. But if this money flow is coming out, guys, I still have to view that as lower highs and lower lows to come, right, until proven otherwise. Doesn't mean I won't take the long here. It just means on the way up, I'm going to be very, 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 very cautious at those key levels of resistance. So that's what I'm looking at on the chart, guys. I'm going to keep an eye on it over the weekend. Hopefully, we can get some kind of a move to get us out of this wonked out range. But I'm going to try to keep it nice and short here today. It is Halloween. I'm sure a lot of people are out doing stuff. Have I sold my spot bags? Not BTC, like my alt bags. I have not sold out my altcoins yet. Smoking that Gorilla Glue is crazy. Shout out to Vegas Claw. We're in danger. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. DCAing at the end of the cycle is diabolical. Shout out to Sheesh. Who is DCAing in? This would be like counter DCA. Maybe DCAing out. I don't know who said that, but maybe they were talking about DCAing out. But yeah, this would be the opposite of. You don't want to DCA in on the bear markets. Definitely not DCAing in here. Or maybe you're talking about me. I'm not talking about buying down here, to be clear. But sheesh, I think you know that. So anyway, let's see. We'll take a look at Ethereum. We'll take a look at Solana, HBAR. We'll take a look at some of the big boys today. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Happy Halloween. Welcome in, Bubba's. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. This is much more scary than Halloween. Yeah, shout out to Rocket Rides. I know it's brutal, guys, and imagine me, right? Like, we make money on the drops, which is nice. But I got to come up here and tell people what the charts look like, which is kind of brutal because people are like, get them off, boo. He said it's going down. No, but let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Shout out to you, Grow, man. Diabolical. Speaking of diabolical. All right, so I'm going to take a look at Ethereum here. How do you get the yellow squiggly line there, Frankie? My 50-week moving average above current price action in TradingView. So what I'm looking at here is the 50-week moving average, right? But if you pull up a regular moving average, the way the moving averages work, right? If I pull up a regular moving average and I come in here and I set it to, whoops, wrong one. If I come in here, set it to 50, the typical way you'd find the 50-week moving average is putting it at a 50 length and then just looking at the weekly time frame. You can see that new line is there, right? But if I go to a lower time frame, you can see the line moves now, right? And that's because now it's showing me the 55-hour moving average, or like the 50-hour moving average, or the 50-day moving average. This is an indicator that this is free. I have no affiliation with this. But if you just type in 50 and look for weekly and daily SMA 50, 100, 200, what this does is this is much nicer, because if you want to go down to a lower time frame and see where that 50-week falls in, you're not going to be able to do that on a regular moving average, right? You need this indicator that I can go down to a lower time frame, right? Come up to the weekly. There's your 50-week moving average sitting at 103,100. I go down to the 90-minute. This is sitting at 103,000, X, right? So this just shows you where that actual 50-week moving average is, not just the 50 moving average. Does that make sense? Right? So there you go. And if you want that, it's this one right here by VSTHR. Very helpful. Again, I don't know who this is, but it's very helpful, and I like it. Shout out to you for doing this. But anyway, all right, let's continue on. We'll take a look at Ethereum. Yo, shout out to Crypto Paisa. Thank you for the super chat. Said, so no alt season? It's not over just yet. It's not over just yet, brother. But, you know, I definitely don't think alt season is 100% guaranteed. Doesn't mean it won't happen. But I think, you know, there's a lot of people that are just thinking, like, we haven't had alt season yet. The cycle can't be over, right? But the market doesn't care what you want, right? Just because we've seen things play out in the past does not mean it's going to play out exactly the same in the future. So, yeah, I'm not saying no alt season 100%, but we definitely do need Bitcoin to make a new all-time high before 2025 is over. And then we can start talking about a potentially incoming alt season, right? But if we don't see that, right, like you just have to take the fact for what it is, and it's that 2026 is expected to be a bear market year. And I don't know what the probabilities of going into a bear market and just seeing a random alt season pop off. I just don't know if that's high probability. So, but we'll keep you guys updated here. Shout out to Al Jr. said, from Halloween Horror Nights to crypto leverage trading nights. Shout out to Al Jr. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on, alt season. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Thank you for gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Thank you so much, bro. Shout out to Old School, You Grow, I Grow, David Gonzalez, Graham Noble, and Just My Style. Shout out to you guys. Drop those Bitcoin jack-o'-lanterns in the chat if you just got a membership. Welcome to the Mafia. Now you can never leave. Yeah, we had an early alt season after the election. Yeah, and I've talked about that, guys. And a lot of people have been talking about why is there no euphoria up here? The top can't be in because we don't have euphoria, which is definitely a plausible thought, right? Like typically you'll see massive euphoria. We don't have that right now, right? But you know, where was the only time where we saw real euphoria in the market? In my opinion, guys, it was right up here, right? Where did we see all the altcoins at least get some kind of a push to the upside? This is the only time we saw the altcoins really get a big move. XRP was ripping. Everything was pretty much screaming to the upside. This is also where I got the kind of untraditional top, even if it's a local top indicators where all my friends and family are like, oh my God, what should I buy? Should I buy Bitcoin? It's going up. And I'm like, I don't know. So we did have the only time I could say we felt real euphoria in this market this cycle was up here. And the thought process there is like, if it's going to play out something like this from 2021, where we had most of the euphoria pop in at the first top, all the social interest, all the search term analytics were peaking here, and then this was really just like a dead cat bounce for a slightly new all-time high to sweep the highs and then come to lower prices, forming that weekly bearish divergence, which eventually marked the top. So, you know, is it similar here where it's like, you know, still wasn't anywhere near the euphoria we saw here, guys. But the only time we saw any kind of euphoria, in my opinion, was right here. And that was shown by that slight little mini alt season that we saw. And, you know, I know people don't want to think that maybe that was the alt season. I hope it wasn't, right? It's not typically what you would expect from an alt season. I would agree with that. But if you know, what do we have here, right? Like the euphoria comes in, not as much euphoria on these new all-time highs. And what is another thing that is very, very similar to what we saw in the past was weekly bearish divergences, right? All the euphoria, second high, sweep it out, higher high, lower high, weekly bear div, same thing here, right? Weekly bearish divergence. And again, I'm not trying to create fear. So I'm not saying the top is in. You know, I just went over, you know, what I would be literally looking for to anticipate the top actually being in. But, you know, you do have a lot of these same things starting to flash here. So, you know, that's the only thing I can think of, right? It's like, why would there not be like as much euphoria here? And the top is in. It's like maybe the euphoria came in here, and then this is just that little inflated dead cat bounce to sweep out the last high and then send it back down. I hope that's not the case, and it's not over yet, right? It's going to be much more clear once we lose that 50-week moving average with multiple weekly candle closures, like at least 2 weekly candle closures, right? That is where I'm saying, hey, top looks like it might be in, right? But until then, right, the door's open. You're above your value area high. You're above your 50-week moving average. And it's like, if we could pump, we still have some time in Q4. Like, maybe we see that, right? And that's what I'm hoping for. But again, I'm not if I had the massive signals down here, I'd be telling everybody, like, hey, guys, the same thing I said back here, which is like, guys, everyone's freaking out. You do not want to be freaking out at the wrong time. I don't want people to sell their bags at the wrong time. I'm looking for new all-time highs. We had the massive bullish signals. We had the daily bull divs, the 2-day bull divs, etc., for that new high to come in. We just don't have that here, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, the door's technically open from a key level perspective, but I can't really say it's a super high probability or not because I just don't have anything on the chart screaming that we're going to do it. So that's why I say if we're going to put in a new all-time high, we just kind of have to see it happen, right? Because there's just nothing on the chart for me to point towards that. Separate from what we saw down here, right? Daily bullish divergences into the 50-week. Daily money flow comes up. Your 2-day money flow comes back up. And, of course, you go into new all-time highs. We don't have that here, right? Maybe that changes, right? Maybe we come down. Let's pull up the daily time frame. Maybe we come down, we sweep it, and then you get the daily bull div, right? But at that point, I would have to assume that this green money flow wave is crossing into the red, which is not what you want to see. So, again, we'll update you here. If we push down here, you guys will see the thumbnail. Biggest level of all time. Come on, Bitcoin. But anyway. Bears are loading their guns to shoot the bulls. Oh, man. XRP will go to the moon before dump year. Shout out to Ant Art. I hope so. Shout out to Ant Art. Good to see you in here, brother. Welcome in. OG of the Candle Mafia. We don't forget, guys. But let's go ahead and jump in. Speaking of the altcoins, let's go ahead and jump on into Ethereum. There we go. Oh, God. TradingView getting a little bit laggy here. But, obviously, nothing really to update here on Ethereum either, right? We swept out the value area low. POC, right? We're holding on top of this POC. This is the volume profile that I will be watching. Value area low sitting here at about 37.75. POC at about 38.33. And then you have this major level of resistance, which is your anchored VWAP, golden pocket, value area high confluence between about 4,000 and 4,068. Very simply put, if we stay inside this, I mean, heck, if you hold this on top of this POC, we can keep the door open to that value area high. If we end up losing the POC and dropping down out of this range, very clear key level of support sitting down here at our 786 at about 36.20. Once we lose that, we're coming down to our biggest level on the chart, which is similar to Bitcoin's macro value area high. I mean, not similar. It's like literally almost the exact same level. But that is sitting at about 35.30. Anchored VWAP, value area high, massively key level of support. This is kind of the level for Ethereum that if we do come down there, you don't want to hang out, right? You want to get back above and push it back to the upside. But locally, I'll just cover the local levels because I don't know how big of a drop we're going to get or a pump we're going to get over the weekend. But yeah, the biggest level, if we wind up breaking down out of this value area, I will be looking down towards about 36.21. Stay on top of the POC and push up. Looking up towards the value area high. And then your 786 also sits up here at about 41.30. So those are the targets I'll be looking at on Ethereum. And again, from like a market cipher perspective, guys, I'll be honest, it's like I can look at the 4-hour and I can say, hey, fake out into the green. If this VWAP gives you the red dot, like I would have to say at face value, this looks a lot more like a fake out into the green for a bigger red wave. On top of that, very similar to Bitcoin, you have this 4-hour momentum wave that looks like it may want to roll over and put in a higher low, which could potentially give us that bullish divergence into that 786. So there you go, right? But with how choppy the money flow has been, it's like maybe this scams up, right? I don't really have a strong bias here. I would have to go with what the charts say. So, I would maybe expect to move down if we lose this, right? 4-hour money flow would be in the red. Even that bullish divergence down here at that point, it's like if your money flow is in the red, I'm still looking for lackluster retracements for lower highs and lower lows. But very hard to tell with all this choppy price action. 3-hour money flow crossing into the red, that's bearish. 4-hour money flow is generally trending out, that's bearish. 2-hour money flow is in the red, that's bearish. Come up to the 8-hour. It's crossing into the green. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. 10-hour crossing into the green. 12-hour crossing into the red. Like you just have like there's just like no way to come to a conclusion there. So what do? Right? We just put a little less weight on that. We're pay attention to the key levels. Lose this. Value area low is your next level. Lose this. I'm looking down to the 786. So actually put an alert here on Ethereum as well on that 786, and I'll pull it up here on that key resistance zone. Bada boom. So there you go. That's what I'll be looking at on Ethereum. I'm just going to let this play out. I don't really have a super big interest in anything here. All right, let's see. What does that even mean? Shout out to Vegas Call. Said Eugene farting in the skies. All right. Shout out to Eugene Sky. Sorry I'm late today. Today was moving day. Hey, shout out to New Earth Guardian. Hey, congratulations on the move, brother. Shout out to Frank Calson. Hey, I like that name, brother. Welcome to the Mafia. Thank you for getting that membership. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you supporting the channel and getting those custom emojis. Bitcoin jack-o'-lanterns in the chat. Let's go. I'll spam them too, guys. They can't ban me off my channel. They can't time me out. Somebody block that Frankie Candles guy. He's spamming. He's spamming. Don't let him spam. All right, anyway, there we go. That's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. I don't really have much interest in this, to be quite honest with you. Taking a look at Solana. We looked at this yesterday. Pull it up on the alt chart. Bada boom. So, yeah, I mean, guys, this is probably could have sat out on the stream tonight, to be honest with you, just because we're in the same scenario we were in yesterday. You got the 2 volume profiles. Literally going to spend 5 seconds on this because I don't want to be super repetitive. Value area down below, right? You get accepted into this range, which looks like we may be doing that, right? Once you lose this 786 daily, next big key levels are the POC and the value area low at 141.83 and 133.54. Plain and simple, right? We have no, excuse me, we have no support. All these support levels that we had, any dailies, weeklies, or anything like that, have been washed out by that wick. So I have no MPOCs. I have no daily levels, no anything I can look at down here, right? But what I can say is this 786 is probably going to be the biggest key level. Lose this, probably going to be a quick drop down to this key level, right? Hopefully not, right? Again, obviously anything can happen, but, that's definitely what I'd be looking at. Power of the volume profiles is on your side. Your 12-hour money flows crossing into the reds. It probably looks exactly the same as, look at your 10-hour looks pretty good. It's just like very difficult. And this is why I say it's just an if this, then that, right? Like we get stuck in here. Maybe is the 4-hour going to be right? Is the 10-hour going to be right? Like one of these has to fake out. So we lose this, looking for that bigger drop through the profile. And then, of course, directly above you, this value area high is the key level to get above. Once you flip that to support, you could potentially look for the bigger move up. But this is the pivot point here, right? You have the value area below, and then the value area above you is literally in that exact same spot. They are like to the dollar on top of each other here. So you're just bing-bonging around between these two profiles, right? Let's try to go up. Nah, back in. No, maybe back out. Nope, back in. Oh, now we're going to break out into the bigger range. No, back in, right? So what do we do with that, right? Well, I could just say if this level breaks, well, now you're probably getting accepted into your profile for the bigger drop down. For the move up, right, obviously the value area low has to be that key level to break to the upside to push higher. And I would say if you really want like the actual line in the sand, I would say this 786 Fibonacci retracement, right, I'll draw this out as a purple box so you have it as a zone, 786 to the value area low golden pocket. Once you get just like when you lose this 786, it kind of opens the door to get the bigger push through the profile. I would say this 786 at 199.35. Sure, you can get above the value area low, right? But if you get knocked down by that fib, right, you're just back in here. So if you get back above that 786, this is the level I'd like to see break in order to call for the POC at 216.79. But until then, right, we just need the move to happen. So there you go. And then if you turn it all off, right, you could potentially even just look at this as a little bit of a local profile. All right, pretty much the same thing as Bitcoin. And then where's that put your resistance? It puts it right. Whoops. It puts it right on that 786 anyway, right? So it's just a different way to look at it. Maybe we get back up here. If we can't break out of that 786 for the bigger move up through the larger profile, right? These are confluent. 786 to the value area low. Got to get above that 786. So there you go. Some local levels on Solana as well. Let's see. Can we get a monthly close pump? Halloween pump? Do something, Biddy. Come on, Lucia. Come on. Push it up, Lucia. Dropping a giant buy. Dump your whole bag in, brother. 1000x leverage. Come on. We get all along together, guys. I can't wait for the bear market. Shout out to New Earth Guardian. I've said this before, guys. Not that I want price to go down. Obviously, I hold a lot of Bitcoin, but I will say, right, like, I don't know. There's something about the bear market. I don't know what it is. I personally think I prefer trading a bear market. I don't want to say it, and I don't really know what it is. I don't think there's any like real validity to it. But the reason I think my brain likes the bear market better is just because it feels better shorting for me. Like shorts just come in fast. Like when you get the dumps, you get the dumps. And I don't know if it's like I feel like gravity's on your side, but it's just like it's such a big opportunity, and it's just I don't know. There's something about the bear market that I love to trade. And that's the beauty of being a trader, right? Bull market ends. Well, hey, spot bags stop growing, but it does not stop us from making money in this market every day. There's not a new setup every day, but you trade these markets every single day. Bear market, bull market, sideways market, kangaroo market, crab market, whatever you want to call it. There's always opportunities to make money, even in this choppy price action, guys. Like as difficult as this has been to trade, right? We've caught longs from the value area low. I'm still holding my short here from the value area high. It's just been a lot more difficult to feel confident on those trades. Almost every trade I've taken, I've been like a little bit like, I don't know. I got my risk management set, so I'm not worried about it. But all right, if this doesn't play out, you take a small loss, no big deal. But it's just like shady trading environment. Let's see. Shout out to ESO. Says, what do you think about altcoins? Will they pump if Bitcoin goes down? I wouldn't say that. I do think that Bitcoin would need to be making all-time highs. So if like Bitcoin just nuked into a bear market here, I don't know. I just don't really see a situation where you see Bitcoin just absolutely tank, especially with like out money printing or anything. I don't know. I see it's going to be a rough road for altcoins, in my opinion. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto. Revo said smash that like button, guys. I think we hit 2.2 million last night. We went for 3.7, but we were going for 3.7. We hit 2.2. Let's go for I don't know. It's a Friday. It's Halloween. Not a lot of people are online right now. We'll go for let's go for 1.8 million likes. Yeah, shout out to New Earth Guardian says, everyone has bullish bull bias. Just trade both directions and don't hold spot. Shout out to Contrary Trader. Every cycle that goes by, I think about that, of just not holding spot. But I do just think it's, I do like the idea of being able to hold, right? So the way I do it, right? I would say 80-90% of my money is in my spot bags, right? Mostly focus on Bitcoin and the high cap altcoins. So I'm actually very happy with that decision. But I like being able to hold this, right? And that way you're not freaking out. You don't have to pay as much attention to the chart, right? If I get stopped out of a scalp here, it's all right, my scalp got stopped out. If I'm shorting here, right? Oh, my scalp gets stopped out. And then you're kind of hedged on especially in the bull market, right? You're hedged on those spot positions. So I am a big fan of holding a majority of my money in my long-term bags and then just kind of day trading and scalping to just grow that capital to dump back into alt bags. Not that I'm taking my profit here and buying Bitcoin right now. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right? It's you don't even really need to hold spot at the end of the day if you know how to trade, right? Because you just make money down, make money up, etc. But I'm a big fan of holding spot as well. It's just going to slowly grow your wealth over time. We will be in a sideways to bear market until after the shutdown. Then we see a front-run rally to the Clarity Act, sell the news. Then we take off in that order. Shout out to Vi Peoples. I hope so. That would I guess mean that the bear market's not here just yet. Definitely a scenario that can play out. Shout out to Golden Child said, I'm pretty well screwed if we don't have any kind of alt season. I went way too hard on alts. Shout out to Golden Child. I think that's a situation that a lot of people are in. I think this is going to be looked at as the most hated bull market in crypto just because of the performance of the altcoins. And that's if we don't see an alt season, obviously. All right, so there we go. All right, so we took a look at Solana, took a look at Ethereum. Let's take a quick look at XR. I mean, again, guys, I'm not going to cover the altcoins too much today just because they're all kind of just in the same spot that they've been. And I do actually have somewhere to be tonight, so short stream, guys, short stream. But yeah, Ethereum. XRP, just still bing-bonging around here. Let me actually pull up this chart. Still bing-bonging around here, right? Until we get above here, I'm not really wake me up when XRP gets back into the upper value, right? Then we could start looking up towards the POC and the value area high, and then that doorway into potential new all-time highs is going to be flipping that 786 at about 322. Then we could start looking to take out the all-time highs potentially, right? Until then, it's a chop fest. Biggest key level to get above 270 to about 280. Right? Just got to get it just in general, right? I don't want to confuse everybody with all these intricate levels, right? Just get above this range, get in here. We can start looking up to some higher prices. And then, of course, we got to be careful up here at the highs. But if things start to look good, we'll have a better idea of what money flow looks like up here and the overall state of the market. If we flip that 786, we can then look for all-time highs, which the next major target for new all-time highs will be between about 416 and 453. If We are unable to hold this point of control. We lose this POC, right? Lose the golden pocket. You look to the 786, which sits at about 205. Lose the POC. You're going to be looking down towards that value area low, which sits at 205. So you have that confluence there as well. So that is the move to the downside, right? That's just what I'd be looking at. Now, when we look at our money flow, 3-hour money, same thing as Bitcoin, 3-hour money flow coming out, 2-hour money flow in the red, 4-hour money flow, getting the fake out into the green here, but overall trending out, 5-hour trending out, 6-hour scamming to the upside. This is all identical to Bitcoin, right? Money flow, 10-hour looks good, 12-hour looks good, or I'm sorry, 12-hour looks bad, 16-hour looks bad, daily looks good, daily money flow crossover. Like in almost any other situation, guys, I'm looking at this like, oh my God, daily money flow crossover. This is amazing. This is beautiful, right? But we don't have bull divs, and with the choppiness here on these lower time frames, it's like this looks super bullish, this looks bearish, this looks bearish, this looks bullish, this looks bullish, this looks bullish, this looks bearish, this looks bearish, this looks bearish, this looks bearish. It's just like a total chop fest. I kind of want to take a couple weeks off and then just come back when all this cleans up. But yeah, I just wish I could make I'm not really paying as much attention to Market Cypher right now than I am the key levels, right? So if we came down here, lose, call it 240, right? Lose this POC, looking down towards 205. If we get the move to the upside and we can get above that range high, which I don't even know if you're going to see an outcome come by Monday, right? You might just kind of chop around here in a wonky old range. So those are the big key levels to look at on XRP. Great stream. Shout out to Matt Myro. Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate you so much. I'm just up here doing what I love, brother. Just doing what I love. Shout out to Fantasy Killer said, Frankadino, could you please take a look at gold? We can check in on gold real quick. Yeah, gold just continuing its little pullback from our Fibonacci extension level. This is a new Fibonacci extension that we looked at. This is, again, money flow not as chopped up here on gold at least. I guess it does just move a lot different than on gold than it does on crypto because it's obviously a less volatile asset. So you get a lot slower rotations on your money flow. Got your weekly red dot confirmed, 2-week red dot and bearish divergence printing. Yeah, monthly is kind of flat there on the money flow. Let's check on down to the 4-hour. 4-hour money flow in the red. So, we could potentially see this kind of correction continue. The next big key levels that I'll be looking at, I think we have a chart drawn up here. Yeah. Oh, there it is. We hit the key level. So the last level we looked at here on gold was down here between 39.20 and 37.85. This is just a simple Fibonacci retracement from the start of this second impulse into the golden pocket, right? We come in, we tap it, we're getting a little bit of a bounce. But when we look at our money flow here, guys, like even on the 10-hour, right? 10-hour is looking to print the green dot, but overall, this might be looking to top out. And again, I don't know if this necessarily means it's going to dump. But like even on the 4-hour money flow, looking to come over into the red here. Excuse me. 2-hour money flow looking to cross over into the red. 1-hour money flow is already in the red. 2-hour money flow. 4-hour money flow. So yeah, money flow trending out here, right? So I would be careful of lower highs and lower lows to continue this move down. If we break below that golden pocket, I will be looking at the 786, sitting here at about 37.87. We'll see if we can go ahead and hit that. I'll set an alert here in case we do. So that's what I'll be looking at. 37.87 is the next key level of support. And once we get down there, we can start to look for some lower levels if that dump continues. But I would say money flow is generally trending out here on the lower time frame. So maybe we can see that continue. But doesn't mean you can't get retracements before continuing down. So there you go. That's what I would look at on gold. Have a nice weekend. Shout out to Denovo. Reminds me of Denozo. Shout out to Denovo. Have a great weekend, bro. Have a safe Halloween. We want to see you here next week, brother. Look at all these ghouls and goblins. Shout out to Wick's Wife 589 and Wick 589. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Rafa says, yo, Mafia, let's see. Come on, baby. All right, let's take a quick look at Sui. Somebody asked for Sui. Again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on the altcoins today. I just really wanted to just give a quick update on Bitcoin. Just super choppy situation there. But, all right, let me come on over to the alt chart. Sui. All right, let's see. Haven't looked at Sui in a bit. Pull back up our regular candles here. All right, well, this was a while ago. break the golden pocket. This is next, right? Obviously, we got the big liquidation wick, but obviously this was based off a low volume gap that we had probably on the VPVR. Low volume gap, lose the golden pocket. You look to go down to the value area low 786. That was the thought process on this drawing here, but obviously we got the big liquidation, and this is old news at this point, right? And we have now lost this 786. I actually don't like the look of that. So let me go ahead and take this off the chart because it's already broken. Let's take a look at the 8-hour. I mean, got your 8-hour green dot printing. Money flow attempting to come up here on the 8-hour as well. 30-minute money flow in the green. So you do have a potential market cipher B 1/16 bullish setup on that 8-hour. Oh, no, 8-hour green dot's confirmed. See the 10-hour, 12-hour. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, look at the difference here, guys. It's like I'm looking at the 8-hour, and it's like, oh, this looks pretty good. This looks good. You have the green dot. You have the money flow coming up. This looks like we could trend to the upside. Then you come up to the 10-hour, and it's like, all right, this still looks good. Money flow trending up. You would make this. You would look at this as a potential continuation up, flip that value area low, and push to the upside. Then you pull up to 12-hour, and it's like, this looks terrible. 16-hour, this looks terrible. Daily, this looks not bad, right? Daily bullish divergences. So, it's like money flow is, I'm going to hide the money flow right now because I don't even want to get, like, confused by this, right? So I'm going to turn off the money flow. And what do I see without looking at the money flow? Daily bullish divergence, potentially looking to print. VWAP is attempting to come up here. It's not printing just yet, but if we can get this daily bullish divergence to print, well, hey, maybe we can get a bounce. First key level of resistance is going to be the 265 value area low. And then if you can get the money flow to continue into the green, well, hey, flip that value area low, look to continue for higher lows and higher highs into your next key level, which will be the 346 POC. This fib is old, but we can pull a new one, which is also confluent with the POC. So this would be the next target. If you can get that daily bull div to print and play out, flip this value area low at 264, the next major target would be this golden pocket POC sitting between 326 and 349. Once you get above that, all you got to do is flip the POC, get above that 786, and let's push into that value area high for the full fill of the range. I just can't say. It's like even looking at the money flow, right? If I turn this money flow back on, just looking at the daily, I can say to myself, well, hey, like if money flow comes up, it actually doesn't look bad. You have a money flow wave for the trend to the downside, bullish divergence, money flow tries to come back up. Let's send it up. But that looks super bad, right? So it's like it's kind of hard to put like a strong confidence on that. But the bull div is looking to print potentially. Even on the 12-hour, right? Like 12-hour also, lower highs or lower lows, higher lows. Very close to invalidating there, if I'm being honest. But even if you just draw this over the general lows here, right? Lower lows on your price action. Momentum is starting to curve up here, right? So you do have like the 12-hour bull divs as well. And either way, right, even if this money flow winds up playing out, if you get these bull divs to print, like you're probably going to get some kind of push to the upside. So that's what I'd be looking at here on SUI for the move up. If we wind up losing these lows, guys, I'll be honest, there's not a lot underneath us. See, what can I pull here? It's hard. It's not a lot, right? Because this wick washed out any support that we had here, right? If we pull up a weekly, we could say like, oh, look at that, guys. We have a weekly down here. This looks good for some support. It's already been tapped by the wick, right? So it just becomes a little bit difficult. It's very hard to find the support to the downside with that giant wick down below us. And you know what they say, where it wicks, it sticks. So again, right, if we wind up like losing these lows and we can't hold this key level, the only level that I can pull, just like on any other alt chart that we've looked at, is going to be the full golden pocket 786 retracement, right? And then once you lose that, there's not a lot to look down to as far as like horizontal levels. So if you do just continue to break down, the next key level of support is going to be 202 to 173 on your full golden pocket 786 retracement. So those are going to be the big levels and what I'll be looking at for a potential move up here. But this is not something I'd be interested in taking a trade on. So we'll see what happens. And let me actually extend this. Probably brings that value area low down a little bit, and I will actually just going to drag it to right before that liquid. I'll just keep it where it is. It doesn't even really need to be updated. So yeah, there you go. Key support, key resistance. And that's Sui. Wish I can give you better indication here based off money flow. All right, let's see. I'm just thankful Frankie keeps the stream short or my girlfriend would be pissed. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. But yeah, shout out to Tony. Tony D, if we could do. I don't know what other Tony I'd be talking about. Maybe Tony Roaz. But yeah, Tony, if we could, let's run the giveaways. I think we have 10 bags of USDT to give away. I was promised a short stream. Yeah, guys, I am actually, we're going to do the giveaways right now. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. He says, you need to do a stream only opposite of a bull run. Like we are wanting price to dump and oh my god, chat starts moving when the giveaways start. Like we're wanting price to dump and head to a bear market opposite of what you typically want. We want price to go down. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. We'll just scream for down and then maybe the market will go up. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down. We'll counter predict the market. We'll counter predict it. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. Welcome in, brother. Tony D comes in. Yes, sir. Shout out to Tony D. All right, he's gonna drop those giveaway winners. I think we have 10 bags of Cardano. I'll never be able to not say that because we gave away Cardano for so long. 10 bags of USDT, guys. What is my opinion on Link if we go to 100K? Do you think Link could reach $10? Let's take a quick look at Chainlink while Tony D is pulling those giveaway winners. Do I think we could hit $10? So let me just look at this from a fresh perspective. Let me just turn off all this TA. I'll just look at this. All right, I'm going to pull this fresh profile. All right, so 114 at the POC and about 110, like a 111 at the value area low, right? So I'm looking at this as my local volume profile. Do I think it's possible? I mean, anything is possible. But if Bitcoin goes down to 100K, let's see this. So if Bitcoin goes down to 100K from where we are right now, what is that? 8%. So maybe we get like a 25%. I would definitely watch the POC at about 1433. But if Bitcoin goes down to like 100K, yeah, maybe like, I don't know, like 3 to 5x of that move would be about 11. I mean, definitely possible. Definitely not definitely possible. And it is close to your value area low. And the nice thing here, we are looking at the Coinbase chart, so we don't have the wick on the chart right now. So if we pull up the weekly, let's see where these high time frame levels come in. Do I have the MPOCs marked out here? No, my God, this is totally unorganized. This is crazy. But you do have a weekly down here at 1166. So got a weekly there. That weekly is tapped. That weekly is tapped. That weekly is tapped. Yeah, that's about all we have. Got another weekly down at about 742. Let's take a look at the daily. I mean, of course, you're going to have dailies before this, but I'm just trying to see if there's any sort of confluence down here at around at about $10. 1076, you do have a naked daily. So this is starting to look like a confluent level of support now. Chat going crazy right now for the giveaways. Whoops. Got another daily at about 110. I'm so used to looking at Bitcoin. 1017. It's another daily right there. And then you got another daily right here. And that one is tapped. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely do have a lot of support down here. You got the weekly. You got 3 dailies. I mean, if we take a look at the MPOCs as well, you might have some, let's see if we got like a monthly MPOC down there or something. No monthly, maybe a weekly. No weekly, maybe a daily. So, yeah, you have 2 daily MPOCs in there as well. So we can mark that out. So, yeah, I would not put $10 completely off the table here for Chainlink. Of course, not guaranteed, but... And you got daily MPOC there. One right here. So these would be like the next big levels I would look at for Chainlink, right? Which is not uncommon, right? POC value area low. Here's your deviation above the high. If you can't, now we're accepted back into the range. If we cannot break back out of this value area, what are we expecting? Get stuck in the range, POC, lose the POC, value area low. And then even if you want to come down and play here, right, deviation below the low for a return back into the range, and then another push to the upside, that does come in around $10. So out of our two major key levels, at the bottom of our second and our last key level here on the chart is getting pretty close to $10. So definitely not impossible. Shout out to Tony D, said no more alts, executive decision. Shout out to Tony D. I actually do have somewhere to be tonight, guys. But yeah, shout out to, I forgot who asked for it, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's out of the cards. If Bitcoin drops down to 100K, these would be the two biggest levels I would look at. And one of them is getting eerily close to $10. So there you go. But let's see. Winners are up. Shout out to all of the giveaway winners. Shout out to It's Happening. Oh, my God, it's happening. Shout out to Splash Landing. Shout out to ISO. I don't know how to say that. Crypto Paisa, Wizzy Woo, Mooties, Pumpkin. Well, we're going to call you Pumpkin today. Hard Boys, Fan, and Lucia and Bala. Congratulations, you're getting a free bag of Cardano. To claim your prize, make sure you go to the free Discord, link in the description down below. Go to the Help Center and claim your free money. Shout out to the winners. Let's see here. Congrats, winners. Let's go, baby. You taking Mrs. Plastic Candles trick-or-treating or treating her to tricks? Shout out to Crypto Maxi. Yeah, Mrs. Candles is dressing up as a blow-up doll this this Halloween. Yeah, Pen of the Prophet said, Frankie, you're done. Go enjoy your Halloween. We will see you at 0. BTC to $10. Shout out to Tyler Durden. You heard it here first. Did I say that? I probably did. I kept saying 110K for Link and probably $10 for Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin goes to 100K, we can look for between 1430 and 1436 and 1328 for Link, and then underneath that you're looking between about 1161 and 1080, right, with the backup support here at about 10 to 950. So there you go. All right, let's see. She wore the same costume last year. Creighton, no, I don't think so. I don't remember correctly, but I'm pretty sure she wasn't a blow up doll. She was no, I don't think so. We had to go buy the costume. I definitely, we didn't have the blow-up doll here yet. Anyway. Link is under $20. Shout out to Seth Shepard. Link is under $20. That is true. Shout out to Frank, said, Frankie, I'll see you at 250K BTC. Hey, I'll see you there, brother. One thing I can promise you guys is one day Bitcoin will be at $250,000. I don't know when, but I do expect it to happen. Shout out to Seth Shepard, said no altcoin bull market. I mean, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. If you Seth, if you scrub back, we actually kind of went into that on like what I'd be expecting. Strong Island, baby. Shout out to Just Holds. Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. Strong Island in the house, baby. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at. We'll do one more check-in on Bitcoin here before we pop out of here. And, of course, we're just... It's like somebody knows, guys. Somebody knows when we go live and they just pause the price action. I mean, 545 sideways. They just know. They know. I mean, 0.28% range over the live stream is crazy work. Here we go. Shout out to Tony D. But guys, real quick, I will just go over. Whoops. Bada boom. Bada bing. We'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see what happens. For the move up, you got to get above this POC. About $112,000 for the bigger push up. Biggest key level of resistance, or not even biggest key level of resistance, but the biggest area of interest for me to the upside will be sweeping out these highs. Biggest interest to the downside will be sweeping out that liquidity to the downside. I don't know exactly which one's going to come first. I would have to lean on this 4-hour money flow coming out, giving you the drop down. But with how choppy things are, I don't really have a strong preference. I'm just going to wait for the alerts to go off in either direction. Sit on my hands and wait for the next setup. So with all that being said, guys, Tony D with another here we go. Shout out to Bruce Buffer. But with all that being said, that's all the time I got for today's live stream. Nice and short here, guys. We're actually ending early today, which is insane, but I really have somewhere to be. But thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button. Go have fun with your Halloween. If you have kids, go trick-or-treating. You might not even be here if you have kids. But be safe out there, guys. Have a great weekend. Don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. And we'll see you guys here on Monday, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's all the time I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spin it for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Guys, that's enough charts, Mrs. Candles. Look, I got a Sour Patch Kid for you. Come on, we're going to go get more candy. Come on, we're going trick-or-treating. Come on. Come on. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday. Same place, same time. Right here. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Come on, Mrs. Candles. Let's go.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go.
Guys, I did not know. I did not know she was exposed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't get pants on her for anything. But that's all I got. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go.